Good. So is it Jay or Jai?
Jay.
Jay. Okay, thanks for that.
It's actually Jamila, but Jay's for short.
Jay.
Jamila.
Jamila.
Yeah.
Good. And you're the person who no one ever gets your mom, right? Isn't that what we talked about?
Yes. Yes.
See, I've been all in my head about that all morning. Like, oh, I have to get this person's mother because
Yeah.
you know that must be who you really want if you're saying that. All right. Well, let's see who shows up. I do feel pulled toward what for me is mom's side of the family, but that doesn't mean it's your mom. I just know I'm sort of pulled in that direction. I get them on his side. I don't know if you would understand. So a woman on your mom's side who has at least two men with her that are peers to her. I think this is a photograph where she would be in the middle of two men, if that rings any bell. And I almost feel like one of the men is crouching a little bit to get in the frame. But I feel like I've got a woman who's between two men and everybody's dressed nicely. I think the guys are in suits or in some kind of what for them is dressed up.
Yeah.
And so if it's your mom or some woman in spirit on your mom's side who is stylish in her own way, do you understand that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I'm getting from her. It's really interesting. I'm seeing the Kim Novak movie Bell Book and Candle, and which is about witches. And there's a character in there called Queenie. And we had a dog when I was a child named Queenie. So I want to say I don't know if there's a Q name connected to your mom or Queen or something like that. But
well, that could be connected to me because a lot of people call me Queen J.
Oh, fascinating. Then that may be why I'm getting that. But
I wasn't actually aware. I wasn't aware because my mum passed when I was 16.
Okay, little. I felt little.
So
I felt littler than 16. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
my mother-in-law's mom died when she was 11 and I was getting that situation. So that was the next thing I was going to say. But you said 16, so you're older. Yeah. Do you I usually hate mentioning jewelry because it's such a common thing, but I want to tell you this. The only thing that I have of my mother's is a necklace, and I modified it. I took out, it's a turquoise necklace, and I took out two of the stones, and I had necklaces made for each my brother and I, so they were appropriate to us. And then I had it strung back together, so it's still, so we've got hers plus one for each of us. So I want to talk about modified jewelry or altered jewelry or something of hers that was altered that you still have that's been modified in some way. I don't know if you understand that reference.
No.
That's okay.
I don't have any of hers.
And again, if it's your mom, would she have referred to you as her baby or her baby girl, even as you got older?
Yes.
My mother, into my 40s, my mother would say my baby. She'd pull, I mean, I towered over her and she'd pull me, she's like, oh, my baby. So I knew it was baby. And so is it baby or baby girl?
Baby, I'll say,
baby.
yeah.
Yeah, my mom said that. And my mom did not wear, so here's why I feel like I'm with your mom, because I keep getting references to my own mother. So that's typically means I'm with the person's mother, which would be yours in this case. And like if I get my dad's mom, I'm with your dad's mom, or that kind of thing. So, so talking about my own mother, my mom did not wear hats, but I want to talk about an elaborate hat or wearing hats. I don't know if that rings for your mom.
Yeah, that comes up quite a lot.
Does it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
And so that goes back to the stylish in her own way. You understand that?
Yeah, she there was a certain time where she did wear like different hats and stuff like that.
So she was a hat lady. And is there a Danny connected to her? Danny or D name? Danny. Or well, let me tell you what I'm getting, and then maybe you can make sense of it. My father's name was Lee, but they when he was little they were Catholic, and his confirmation name was I think Daniel, but he went by Danny. So my father went by a name that was not on his birth certificate. My mother called him a name that was not on his birth certificate, and it happened to be Danny. So I'm getting that situation. It may just be one of those references. I see what's going on in life.
So with the person Danny, Dan, was that because there was a little girl, my little cousin, that she raised as her own grandchild, and she used to call her Danny.
That's why I'm getting that name. Okay.
Danny,
cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I should have said it. I was seeing Danny with an I, which is normally how you'd spell it, a girl's name as opposed to a man's Danny. That's really interesting. Oh, and that was sort of right after we were talking about my baby girl. Well, what do we do with your fancy hats? I honestly can't tell if your mom's passing was abrupt or not, so please don't tell me. It doesn't, well, here's what I'll tell you. I feel like this woman somehow knows she's going to pass, and there's not a lot of time between her knowing and it happening, if that makes sense to you. And it doesn't, I don't get the sense of an accident. So when you'll often hear me paraphrase, I mean this respectfully, and I do. When I have trouble, when they have trouble, or I have trouble getting them to convey to me how they passed, it often means they contributed to their own passing. So I don't know if you understand that with mom.
Yeah.
Either the way she lived, so either the way she lived or outright causing her own passing, I feel like there is that situation, if you understand, contributing to her own passing, right?
Yeah, I can resonate with that.
Okay. Okay. I just feel like this, I'll just go back to, I feel like this woman knows she's going to pass, and there's no escaping it, is what it feels like. There's no, inevitable. It feels inevitable.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll say about that. You must know this either on your own or other people have told you that this woman was not trying to leave. I feel like would have stayed. If there had been a way to escape it, she would have, is what it feels like. Exactly. And I'm sure other people have told you this because this feels familiar, and I don't ever remember talking to you, that she's either said to you directly or said through other people like me that she's been with you ever since. Do you understand? This woman is almost, I don't want to say constantly with you, but perpetually available to you. So I don't always feel my mom with me, but if I sort of reach for her, there she is, like without fail. So I don't feel like she's constantly there, but I feel like as soon as I turn my attention in that direction, there she is. You've already mentioned you have a daughter. Was it, so talking about daughters, was either your daughter's birth or your own birth with her very difficult? Do you understand, a very difficult birth?
I think she may have had a little bit of a difficult birth with me. I wouldn't really say that my children's, any of their births have been difficult.
So maybe yours was the difficult one, because what I'm getting, my mother told me she napped through my birth, and I'm getting the flip, and that story's being flipped over in my head, which made me think difficult. That's interesting, flipped over.
Anytime I see pictures of when I was born, she had one of those masks on. She seemed to like maybe have issue.
Got it. So lots of, it's really common for people to pass in a medical environment, but I feel like I'm not sure if your mom did or not. It's really interesting. She's like avoiding talking about how she passed. So I wonder if I should leave that alone until it slides into place. And the hats, the two men. So I just want to go back to the two. I feel like I feel like I'm arm in arm with two men. I don't know who they are, but they feel like peers to her. So I don't know if they're brothers or brother and husband, but I literally have linked elbows with a man on either side of me.
I believe it's her brother and her father.
Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah, so let me do this linked arm. I've got this linked arm thing. And did you not know or barely know her father?
No, I didn't.
Passed before you were born?
No, her father passed after she passed, but I didn't know him.
But you didn't know him. I never knew my dad's dad. That's why I'm asking. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this man is parents' generation or grandparents' generation, but I know he's got, I will call it a working class accent, if you understand that. And I feel like there's quite a lot of hard work. I don't feel like this guy has an easy, I don't feel like he ever had it easy. And I don't get a bitterness with him, but I do. Oh, it's such a stereotype. So I know where he lives is cold and damp, but for me, that's all of England, which I think is where you are, right? So that doesn't really help.
What you've said so far, 100% is my uncle.
On dad's side?
On my mum's side, her brother.
Ooh, that's interesting. Why would I get you over there? Your mom's brother, uncle, hard scramble. And so if this is him, do you understand him starting working very young?
Yes.
Like not legally an adult yet, and he's working either to support himself or help support his family.
Yeah.
And it's work that a man would typically do, right? More than a boy would do. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Understand that? So they would be together. That's very interesting. I do want to say there's nothing wrong with hard work. This guy does not feel like, oh, that was unfair. I don't get any sense of bitterness about that. I just feel like that's how it was.
He was just a hard worker. Okay. And I know that he started working very young and he enjoyed working very hard.
I don't know how big a family they come from, but I feel like part of that enjoying the work is getting him away from an environment. So I don't know if that gets him out of the house or away from people, or maybe he feels independent, but I do feel, because I started working really young, I was 14, and I liked it because I was treated respectfully at work and I was treated like an adult. Like I worked with 30-year-olds and we were all treated the same. So, and they had the expectation, they had the same expectations of me as an employee as they did of someone who was 30 or 40. I liked that. So that's what he's showing me. That's why I said went to work really early. But my work was easy. My work was desk job work. It was library. It wasn't manual labor. It wasn't manual labor. It's such a stereotype of England, but I am seeing what I think is the London Bridge and Big Ben, and I don't know if that is a location they're trying to show me, or if that's just me being stereotypical about England. Bridge. I want to be Bridger.
The reason why I think it's my uncle, because he was a taxi driver and he was all over London. So he's probably shown you landmarks. He was one of the famous black taxi drivers. So he would be showing you different landmarks of London.
So they have to, I feel like that is him, because aren't you not allowed to be a taxi driver there until you've learned, I don't know, hundreds of streets?
Yeah, you have to learn for a long time.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Okay, so that's why, because I do feel like we're touring what I in my head have seen of London. I've never been there. And this must have been a while ago, because unless they still do it, because I feel like I'm driving a stick shift, not an automatic. I don't know if that's what taxis were like when he was driving, because now I would assume that they're automatics. But
yeah, it was definitely not automatic when he was driving.
Okay, so I enjoy driving a stick, and I can feel myself driving the stick. That's why.
Yeah.
So would he or both of them have enjoyed big band music? Like, do you know the Glenn Miller era of music?
Did you say Big Ben?
Big band music.
Big band, possibly. It's funny you're bringing up music, because they did enjoy music. They used to go out a lot together.
Brother and sister used to go out together.
Yeah.
Like to dance halls. Do you understand? Like wartime or after wartime dance halls, like that kind of going out.
Yeah.
Okay. So would one of them have met a partner in one of these dance environments?
Possibly, yes.
Okay. And there's more than just the two of them as siblings, right? But those two, for some reason, come together because they're close in age. Okay, but these two, I'm seeing siblings that I know where they come from a larger family, but a brother and sister who were really close, closer than the rest of their siblings. And is there something about not all the siblings having the same dad? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I have a brother where we have the same dad but different moms, and again I got that flip. So because I'm like, oh, she knows her grandchildren. I also want to say they are mine. Like, that I never physically held them does not matter, because they're mine. I don't know if you understand March, or the third of a month connected to your mom or to you. It's usually a birthday or a passing anniversary, or 3 of something. But my attention.
I've got 3 children.
Oh, well, then that's the 3. That's the 3 that I was, well, and that popped in as you were talking about never met my children. So I feel like she's conveying to me, oh, I've met them, I know them. Is one of those children a K name?
A K, no.
Or a K sound? Kimmy, Kimmy, Kishi, Kiki. I don't know. I want to say a K name. And do you have 2 girls and a boy?
No, they're all girls.
So is one somehow different, like farther in age, or I'm getting them as 2 and 1 is why I'm asking. So
yeah, so I've got 2 that's close in age, and then one's got a massive gap.
Okay, we're in my family, we're 3 boys, but we're 10 years apart from the youngest. So we're also 2 and 1, even though we're all boys.
Like my middle daughter.
So I do feel I want to talk about this woman as a mother because, and I mean everything I'm about to say politely, do you understand her being a very affectionate mother?
Very affectionate.
Who you knew, like undoubtedly you love each other, but also would smack you, like if you stepped out of line. I feel like this woman, okay, because that was my mom. Very affectionate, very loving, would knock you on your butt if you were bad enough for it. Like I feel like I feel like the affection and the discipline are both very physical, is what it feels like.
Yeah.
But even that is with love, because I feel like that's going to hurt you later if that behavior continues. So like, I feel like it's about proper, and do you understand proper manners being really important to this woman?
Yes, yes.
So if you were to go, here's what she's showing me. Before we ever left, when I was little, every time we left the house when I was little, I get this little lecture before we walked out the door about how I was going to behave. And I wasn't even a troublemaking child. And I feel like your mom did this. Like before we go anywhere, there's this reminder lecture, right?
Yeah.
You will behave, or you know what I'm saying? Okay, good.
Yeah.
She's that kind of mom. It's interesting. There's similarities between our mothers. And I think maybe that's why it's a little easier for me to connect, because she's hitting my own memories of my own mother. Is my own memories of my own mother. Did your mom have a black cast iron skillet? I know.
What is that?
It's a frying pan skillet, but it's all iron and all black, or some very heavy.
She did. She used to cook with that. That's something quite traditional.
Oh, okay. It's not it's just something I associate with my mom, is a black cast iron skillet, because she made all kinds of breakfasts and dinners were made in that skillet. So, and you can't put your hand on it, right? Because you have to handle it with a pot holder or a rag, because even the handle, right? You understand that? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we're talking about the same thing. So she feels, I don't know about her passing, but this woman feels physically strong to me. She does not feel, do you know what a shrinking violet is? She's not that. I want to say this is not a petite woman, and this is not a mousy, quiet little, timid, not timid. That's the word I'm looking for, not timid. And also around the house, so I feel like her going out clothes are preserved or taken care of for when she goes out, as opposed to what she wore around the house, which is any old raggy anything, is what it feels like. That was also my mom. And also, do you remember being admonished not to get things on your own clothes? Like you have to make them your own nice clothes before you go out somewhere. You have to make them last, or you have to make them.
I'm not quite sure about that.
I didn't. Here's what she's showing me. I didn't really have nice clothes because I was a child. I didn't need them. So if I got something new because we had to go to someone's wedding or some event, my mom was like, "You're stay clean." Like,
probably what I'm seeing is she dressed us very well.
Okay. Do you understand a white dress for you?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's for, because I don't think you're Catholic, but my mother's family. Yes, that's what I'm talking about a communion dress. I didn't know if you do that in England. Okay. But it's not Catholic, right?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, you are? Oh, all right. That's me making assumptions about British people, because my mother's family is Latina and Irish Catholics. So I'm seeing a communion dress. You don't look Latino to me, so.
Yeah, we're Roman Catholic.
You are Roman Catholic. Oh, that's great. That's great. I understand when your mother passes, So my logical mind says you would fall under the custody of your dad, but I feel like a woman steps in. I don't know if it's grandma or aunt, but I feel like there's a woman that goes, you're a man, you don't know what you're doing. She's a girl. I'm stepping in. It feels like
Yeah,
something.
my aunt traveled her sister from the Caribbean and took care of us.
Got it. I feel thankfulness toward a woman that stepped in when I passed, or a woman that I literally see her coming in sideways. And I kind of feel like she comes in big, like, this is happening, I'm doing this. I don't feel like she was invited. I feel like she announced, I'm showing up, is what it feels like.
Yeah.
And I feel thankful to this woman because of that. Not a British thing. So my family's Mexican, half of my family's Mexican. I don't know if you eat tortillas or if there's some flat bread, something, but somebody.
It's probably roti, we call it roti. It's like a flatbread, but it's roti.
Flatbread. I'm gonna look that up just because I would call it a tortilla. My attention is pulled toward tortillas, and I don't know why. Yeah.
Just the motion that you're giving as well. We call it roti.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, terrific. So I also want to talk about, she's showing me, this is again your mom saying, I'm aware of what's going on in your life. Are you and I don't know how little your kids are or not, but the kind of mother who would let her kids crawl all over her? Like,
they do that, to be honest.
And that your kids crawl on you when they're touching your face, and so even if you're on a Zoom call or if you're on the phone with somebody, your kids are right there.
Yeah.
Okay. She's showing me that, and that makes me, because I was very affectionate like that with my mom, and it drove some of her relatives nuts that we were so affectionate with each other. They thought it was wrong for a boy to be that affectionate with his mom, and so she's showing me like kids crawling on you, but in a good way.
They almost make me claustrophobic. I'm always telling them that they're hugging me too tight, or they're kissing me every minute, or my 6-year-old constantly refers to me as cute. She says that I'm cute.
Well,
so she's always kissing and whatever.
Let me tell you, this is not evidential, but I really feel like this woman, this mother, your mother, some of those hugs and kisses are from her through the kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, you understand that? Have you felt that?
Yeah, I felt that.
I feel like
I definitely think my 6-year-old, because she says a lot of things as well, and I'm like,
there you go.
In fact, my first daughter and my last daughter, they definitely have gifts. They say a lot of things that there's no way they could know certain things.
Yeah. I will tell you this. Sometimes, so the other weird thing that happens to me since I officially began doing mediumship is I'll be somewhere, either driving my car or out shopping somewhere, and I'll feel my parents or grandparents looking at the world through my eyes, is what it feels like. And so how I came out to my brother is we were in his kitchen, I was talking to him, and I could feel our dad looking at him. They didn't get along. And I felt my mom doing that when I'm talking to my brother. She's looking at him through my eyes. And I thought, oh, how weird, that's dad. And as I was thinking that, my brother goes, ooh, dad used to look at me just like that. And so he could see it. And I said, okay, so I have to tell you something. And he was very cool about it. But yeah, and so all of that's going through my head as I'm imagining kids crawling all over you. And I feel like mom I've already said it. Some of those hugs and kisses are coming from mom. She's just using is the wrong word, but she's doing it through the kids, is what I want to say. She's doing it through the kids, which is again that I'm there, I'm right there, I'm right here, right here. She's literally showing me kissing the side of your head, like right now. I don't see it in camera, I'm seeing it in my head. This kissing, like I'm right here.
I think I'll probably talk to her a bit more in a playful way now, because she was that character anyway.
Do you, or have you lit candles for your mother, or lit candles?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I'm there then as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the candle doesn't call her. I feel like she's already there and you're almost lighting it together. I feel like she's there when you're lighting the candle.
Yeah.
You lit the candle. I'm getting that clicky thing.
Yeah, it is one of those clicky things that I've got as well. Click.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Oh, that for the fire?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why I'm getting click. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So I know she's with you when you do that too. Okay. Is that so you've said you're Roman Catholic, and I don't know how often you attend services, but do you walk to those services as opposed to driving to them? Or do you remember walking to church with mom instead of driving to church?
When I went to church with mom, it was quite far where we went, and like at least an hour drive to the church we went to.
She's
But
triggering my
there is a
memories.
church,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
there is another church that I've gone to of recent, like a few years ago, that I used to walk to. That was local.
I want to talk about walking to church, specifically
Yeah.
walking to church. So I don't know, I honestly have to be honest with you. I don't know if that's encouraging that or if she's just commenting that she was with you when you did that.
Yeah.
Oh, but I do want to say any church. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Any church. So I
Yeah.
do feel encouragement toward any kind of, but it also feels for community. It's more for the community than for the religion. I want to say any church, like be involved or become involved. Any church is good. Those are interesting words. Any church is good.
I understand that.
You understand that? Okay. As long as it makes sense to you, I feel like that's, I do feel I'm supposed to stop soon. Let me see what I can. Obviously, this woman loves you, and you know that.
Yeah.
I also feel like, wow, I'm sorry if you heard that. That's my computer popping up messages. So just like we talked about both of our mothers being very affectionate, I'm sure you're very affectionate with your kids. And I like that because I want to say you get that from me. It's almost the reverse of the kids hugging and kissing you, her doing that. I feel like she makes me feel like I continue in this world because of how you are with your kids. Does her name pass to someone else? Or is there someone else with your mom's?
Yeah, there is.
Okay. I also like
They've all got her name in the middle.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. My middle name is my grandfather's name. That's why I asked that. So I should have just said the name, darn it. Okay, that's funny. And very gratifying. Oh, so that's part of that continuing in this world. What do you, this is the last thing I want to say to you. I don't know if you sing to your mom or if your kids sing to your mom. I sing to my deceased loved ones. And I feel like there's singing to mom or singing in memory of mom.
Well, my children never met their grandmother. My eldest daughter sings a lot, and she says when she sings, she feels free. But I used to sing to my mum a lot when she was alive.
Oh, when she was alive, you sang to your mom.
Stand me up.
Ooh, so that's the other thing I'm supposed to tell you to do. Sing to her now.
Okay.
Because I want to say, because you think
She's
it's
probably
like she's still alive.
Yeah, she's probably, there's a song, because I actually sing. So there's a song that I wrote for my mum that I've never really been able to complete. And it's been very difficult. So it's good that you've been able to mention singing, because I haven't sang. I've been at a standstill because I've not been able to complete the song.
I feel like you can sing anything. So here's what so you probably break into song when you hear it playing on the radio or hear it playing on TV, or whatever. You know how you join something, you hear music and you join in singing?
Yeah.
When you do that, sing to her.
Okay.
That's a great way to connect with people in spirit. I don't know, I did that instinctively. I've done that my whole life. When I would sing, because my whole family sings, and when I would break into song, I would be singing to people who had died. And I didn't tell anyone. I mean, eventually I mentioned it because I guess I assumed other people were doing that. But I want to say, sing anything to her. So speaking from her perspective, sing anything to me, because I can hear you. Oh, and I want to hear you. That's interesting, because you said you don't. You said you don't hear her, and I want to say I want to hear you. So sing to me. Sing to me.
Yeah. She wanted me to be a singer.
Is that right? Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's great. That's great. I am supposed to stop.
Okay.
Well, I hope. Oh, my heart's expanding. This woman really loves you. Obviously, she's a mom.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that was something that more than you typically get. I really feel like you can connect with this woman I feel like the whole point was to mention ways to connect with her, like the thing in the mirror and singing to her, but
Yeah,
especially singing to her. Like that's echoing in my head. I want to hear your voice. So
definitely.
it's really interesting to me that you started by saying you don't hear her, or you don't like, you can hear your grandmother, but you don't hear her. Because I want
Yeah,
to say to you, I want to hear your voice. So sing to this woman.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. I was just dropped. It's funny.
Brilliant.
They make me feel like I'm dropped.
Yeah,
When they're done, I feel this dropping thing. So
wow.
I've definitely been dropped.